Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. There. That looks better, I guess. We're currently sitting at 7.1. Have full calibration. I have 3.675 units of insulin currently doing its magic in me. Today has been, I had a low just before lunch. Yeah, just before lunch. Okay, and then I dropped a bit, came back, dropped a bit, and now I've kind of just been slowly going up. So we'll see how I go later. So today I want to discuss, so you've just been diagnosed. What the hell now? What's going to happen? How much do you need to do? And how do you go through all the material? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, you being just diagnosed. Everything is still fresh in your mind. The one trick before we discuss everything else is when you get home and when you start living your life as a diabetic, you need to learn how to not jump to the future. Just little things. I got a book to record my blood sugars in. It was just about this big. It was kind of like a checkbook register for those old people. And anyway, in it you would write your time you had, your blood sugar, breakfast, lunch, dinner, your ketone readings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any comments. I filled up the whole book with writing dates in it, and my stepfather, who he wasn't trying to give any ill effects, I remember him saying, what happens if you miss a day? What are you going to do? Throw out the book? And maybe I'm looking for excuses, but I just stopped writing any information utilizing that book. I used it for about 2 weeks. After you've been diagnosed, don't go looking for easier ways to do anything. You need to worry about that later. Sorry, I'm just going to move this light. There we go. Get rid of some of this. And you want to make sure that you're doing things correctly. There may be 50,000 ways of a person who says he knows the way to get around doing blood tests every 4 hours, or you could use an insulin needle over and over again. Right now, you are to learn how to control your blood sugar. You don't want to start introducing other things into your diabetic equation. A lot of times, I did that and I found, I read in a magazine or something, how when blood test was coming out, that someone would wrap an earphone cord. Now it could be one of these cords, I guess, and they'd wrap it around their finger, making it really tight so the end would get purple, and then they'd poke their needle, or the needle lancet, and then they'd get a nice big blob of blood. And I started doing that for a while. It doesn't do great if you're going to do it all the time for your fingers. Excuse me. Okay, hopefully I'm going to be okay. So you need to be, let me just sneeze on that. But it can cause damage to your fingers. You'll lose the sensation in your pads, and now you don't necessarily have to do your finger pokes, but you have to tell your doctor how you're obtaining the blood sample. If you're doing it on the forearm, I think is one of the areas, let them know, because I believe it could alter something. But if they know about it, they can take the information. Keep up with the beginning 4 times a day of testing. Get a glucometer. Now you'll go to the drugstore. You'll take a look at 50,000 different glucometers. To begin with, you just need a very basic one. This one will take your blood, give you the reading that you need. As you get comfortable, you may progress. There's ones that now start warning you when you're high, when you're low. You also should have on hand a ketone meter. And with a ketone meter, it rates how much ketones are in your blood. This is important, that if you go sick, you don't want to go into ketoacidosis. Now, as a new diabetic myself, of course, back then, if you got diabetes, you were put in the hospital to learn all about diabetes. You went in there, and I stayed in there 4 weeks. think it was just under 4 weeks. And I got out, and within a week, I had the cold. I guess I was in a sterile environment, got back to my life, got back to going to school, and I got the virus. Not that virus, the cold virus. And I kind of wished I had it. I completely forgot about doing urine testing when I felt like crap. But, life isn't going to be perfect. You're not going to get everything the way you want it at first. Try to mimic everything you could when you get out. You're going to go to the drugstore. We talked about going to the drugstore, getting your glucometer. You're also going to possibly get other things. Alcohol's wipes. You can buy them on Amazon now. But they are essential. I know I've kidded before on this channel saying, real diabetics don't use alcohol. You should. If you're jumping right into a pump, which I don't think they do right now, it doesn't make total sense to me. You need to practice and learn how to give a shot just in case things aren't available. You're probably going to see your doctor on a regular basis. This is all new. Not new. Sorry. Total different train of thought. Let's try. You are going to see your doctor more often at the beginning, and then it'll eventually taper off. If you get sick and you're having high ketones and you're vomiting, get in contact with your doctor ASAP. It's amazing how I really don't want to bother them, they're busy. Come on. If you're showing high ketones, thirsty, urinating, and you start vomiting, I'd head to emergency. Just let you know that. I'm not a doctor, so don't take it verbatim. But you should have the discussion with your doctor as soon as getting out. How do we come up with a plan? When do I seek medical attention? When don't I seek medical attention? Looking back at things, if you're having a diabetic issue, how do I say this? You're just going to get sicker with high blood sugar unless you seek medical attention. If you just have high blood sugars, it's important you see your doctor. You can go into an office. Like I just said, if you have ketones, you're urinating, you're drinking huge amounts of water, and you start vomiting, that's the time to go to emergency. If you're low and people can't bring you back, you need to call 911. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's the biggest thing. I've talked in this video before where, my parents kind of gave me the keys to run my own diabetes. I wasn't really ready, and I never really wanted to say, you know what? I'm having problems here because it will be, oh, I let them down. More times than not, I kept hearing, oh, what did you eat? Why are you high? Or why did you take so much insulin? Because this is what I was told to do. Now, in Alberta, when I lived there for a whole year, I never once saw a doctor. I didn't see a doctor till I was in my first year at Shawnigan, over by Duncan. And the school doctor came and saw me. It was all good. And, I can remember his questions were, are you having nightmares? And I said, no, sometimes I have quite vivid dreams, but I don't have nightmares. Oh, and he records it down. You're going to be seeing an awful lot of people. You're going to have to ensure that you're doing your tests. It will become a pain. It would be nice to say, hey, I'm taking the weekend off. I'm going away. I'm not going to do any of that. Well, now, that's something that's gone by the wayside. If you go away, you're going to have to be prepared. So your life has changed now, but eventually it will just get like clockwork. Somebody will say, oh, let's go away. 9 times out of 10, you know exactly what you have to grab. Your glucometer, strips, insulin, syringes, pump supplies, whatever it is. But for now, before you do anything out of the ordinary, plan. Plan for the worst, expect the best. I hope this just gives you an overview of the types of things a new diabetic will have to go through. Have a great night, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.